Alrighty, so today, just, you know, had to end off the month with another L. Today we actually ended up shitting the bed, bro. But, freaking, hang on. There wasn't like any news or nothing, and we ended up going down like 0.61%. And, I don't know. Today, I'm glad we're at least away from all-time highs. Today, I was trying to mow fairways at my job. I'm on the golf course, and it just wasn't a good combo. I was like trying to peek down at my phone once in a while, and I thought I saw a good setup. I actually ended up missing the first setup and taking the second. So, yeah, I guess we can just get into it. So, here. We had this high, this low, which probably tapped pre-market, this opening gap right here, order block, and then I guess I could have went for equilibrium, but that was still pretty far. And then ES don't even matter unless it's for SMTs, but yeah, so okay. Yeah, as soon as market opened, we ended up just dropping, bro. I literally don't even know why. We had all this pre-market was so good for currencies, bad for ES. Good for currency, bad for ES, and then regular. So I guess all three of these would have caused all of that. But it's kind of funny because that would have been right in this area. I guess they just waited for market to open. Yesterday I shouldn't have traded at all. That was just FOMC. So we took out one low. Oh my gosh. One low, two lows, and then ES actually ended up taking three lows. All right. So at this point, I wasn't even seeing anything. There was no SMT or for value gaps or nothing. But we did end up creating an SMT from 16:15 to 9:45. And then here, same thing, 16:15 and then 45. I wonder actually, we ended up creating a 15-minute SMT as well. Oh wait, I guess not, because that down candle is 30, huh? Alright, anyways. So we had an SMT, and the reason I wasn't going to go short anymore was because I expected this huge move to need some sort of rebalance. If not, like, I thought the short was going to exhaust itself and then, head up a little higher. Plus the SMT, so I don't know. Sometimes I forget SMTs are used just for retraces and then to continue our move. That's one thing I could have learned. Right after this SMT was created, we actually did end up having this entry. Even though the 1 minute wasn't in bullish order flow, I guess the 5 minute wasn't either, so this could have been a potential entry. But since the risk to reward was actually really bad, I would have just aimed for... Dang, that would be a small move, so I would have just probably aimed for there. Just because 0.24, yeah, that's what I usually aim for, but that even didn't end up getting hit. So then we created this fair value gap right after the SMT. So at this point, honestly, I thought it was a pretty good trade. From there, since we were a little higher, I was going to go for this second 15-minute fair value gap. from there, I didn't enter in off of any of this because I wanted to wait for us to fully tap the fair value gap, and then we inversed up, which I thought was actually a pretty strong confluence. You know, completely disrespecting the bearish order flow. I probably should have waited for a continuation if the 5-minute wasn't in bullish order flow already. So this is where I ended up going long, right on that, and I only put my stop loss like right here, right under the fair value gap, targeting there. It is honestly a pretty big trade. I wouldn't normally end up going for an RR like that, but I just expected a rebalance. That's the second time within the past like few months that I've taken a long after a big large move down, and I've lost both times. So I'm either not going to trade on a day like this, or I'll just continue moving down, because this whole thing was just a retrace to continue the move. But that was one of the biggest things I learned, because that's like 2-0 on going long after drastic moves. I'm trying to think of anything else. Also, 5-minute order flow was not flipped either. We didn't inverse any fair value gaps. We didn't break structure or nothing. The only thing that we had for bullish order flow on the 5-minute was the SMT. So I should probably write that down a little more. This month was honestly rough. I had a good last 4 months of being green. This is my first red month in a while. I'm honestly down 1,093, but that's just because I have the 2 accounts, so I've been doubling my positions. Other than that, the last 4 months have been single accounts and like single positions. So I'm hoping the further we get away from these all-time highs, I really just hope we end up getting like clear direction, better volume, order flow. Hopefully I just learned everything I need to for all-time highs. I'm trying to see what other news we have. PMI tomorrow at 8. So for me, that's 30 minutes into market open. We have, what's next week? Literally just, okay. Next week might not even be great either. But whatever. Not much else to say. Just, I'm gonna start requesting like part-time and hopefully doing more live trades and then being able to focus a little better. Just so I can be home and like be able to look at the charts. Honestly, I'm not blaming it on anything else. It was still my fault to enter or exit a trade. But I think the 2 biggest things to note was like, don't trade against 5-minute order flow if it's still not flipped. As well as, also, I did just see this bullish confirmation from the fair value gap. So I just thought that was even better. I forgot to mention that earlier, but yeah, don't trade against 5-minute order flow. Don't trade against a drastic move down. As far as ES goes, ES actually did end up, like, it would have hit any take profit that I would have chose. Like, yeah, I literally would have just aimed for that. See, so the SMT was for a retrace to end up continuing lower. Whoops, I don't want to be that. So, honestly, an entire bearish day, I just totally got wrecked this entire month. I was trying really hard not to be upset. I'm not even upset at the charts or like myself. It's just disappointing. But, yeah, I guess, new month, new money. I'm gonna go back to just trading one account because it's too hard to try and copy trade on my phone unless I'm at home trying to just like copy trade. It's a lot easier on the computer. Yeah, I might start checking if I should wait for 5-minute confluence and then 1-minute continuation as well as a 1-minute break. But other than that, I'm probably just gonna keep my strategy the same. It was probably just a rough month, like just because I guess that's just the edge and the odds. Alright, so I guess that's it. So peace out.